I'm here with Walter Isaacson, obviously famous as the biographer of Steve Jobs, but he's here with a new book. Mr. Isaacson, you want to just tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's called The Innovators. And one of the things that those of us who've written biographies feel bad about is we know we distort history a little. We make it seem like there's a guy in a garage or a garret that invents everything. And in fact, teamwork and collaboration are the most important thing. So I wanted to show the collaborative efforts that created the computer, the internet, and then the conjunction of the computer and the internet that we see today. So it's a sort of a history of the digital age through the teams that made it.
So I would imagine one of the reasons you sort of, as you put it, distort history a little is because by focusing on one person, it becomes a little more dramatic, a little more interesting. Was that a challenge for you to try to tell that broader story without kind of making it too kind of spread out, if you will?
Yeah, when you talk about collaborative creativity, it's actually more interesting. I mean, you see how the people who did the computer or the transistor, how they sat together in rooms and worked with each other. And people who are in disruptive industries, they say, yes, that's how it really works. So I think if you can capture that spirit of how did they actually put together the internet, how did they actually create the web or the web browsers or Google and all, you make it more exciting, not less exciting.
So as somebody who's, written about contemporary figures like Steve Jobs and then, Albert Einstein, Ben Franklin, do you feel like, and with this new book, is there sort of a continuum between them, or do you feel like it's very different to write about them?
I think one of the things about writing about the innovators is you can show the historical continuum. I saw it with Ada Lovelace, who was Lord Byron's daughter, but helps come up with the notion of a computer software, an algorithm, and the notion that a computer can be a general purpose machine, not just a numerical calculator. And that's in the 1840s. And then you leap forward to wonderful people like Alan Turing in the 1940s, who are actually building these machines, and you say, okay, here's how it works throughout history. And for somebody like myself who tries to be a historian but also a journalist, it meant I could interview people who are still alive, people like, Larry Page, who does Google, or Bill Gates, but also go back and do the historical research on people like Alan Turing and John von Neumann.
So I guess my last question, just choosing a title like The Innovators, I think there's a lot of argument now about what is true innovation. When you look at sort of contemporary Silicon Valley, do you feel like there's a lot of real innovation still happening?
Yeah, there's a lot of real innovation still happening, but the word innovation has been used so often it's been drained of its meaning a lot. And so what I wanted to do in the book is not talking about innovation as a concept, but actually show some real examples of people who failed or succeeded, how they did it, how they worked in teams, to figure out what traits made it work. What was their way of thinking? How did they pull things together? So that it wasn't just here's innovation as a concept, but here's an actual story of two people sitting on a bench creating the microchip or creating Google.
Great, well thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.